Juliet had always loved her old Victorian house, inherited from her grandmother. It was a sprawling place with creaky floors and hidden nooks, perfect for a single woman like her who worked from home as a freelance writer. Tonight, her boyfriend was away on a business trip, leaving her alone for the first time in months. She didn't mind, she relished the solitude. After a late dinner of pasta and wine, she settled into her study, typing away at her latest thriller novel. The rain pattered against the windows, a soothing white noise that drowned out the city's distant hum. Around midnight, she heard it, a faint thump from upstairs. Probably the house settling, she thought, dismissing it. Old houses did that. But then came another sound, a soft scrape, like furniture being moved. Her heart quickened. She paused her typing, ears straining. Silence. Shaking her head, she laughed at herself. "You're writing too much horror," she muttered. She got up to make tea, patting down the hallway in her socks. The kitchen light flickered on, revealing nothing amiss. As the kettle boiled, she scrolled through her phone, checking messages. No word from Jake yet. Suddenly, the floor above creaked, a deliberate footstep. Her blood ran cold. Was someone up there? She grabbed a knife from the block, her hand trembling. "Hello?" she called out, voice echoing weakly. No answer. Heart pounding, she climbed the stairs, each step groaning under her weight. The upstairs hallway was dark, doors closed as she'd left them. She checked the guest room first. Empty. Bathroom. Clear. Her bedroom. Nothing. Relief washed over her, but as she turned to go back down, she noticed the attic hatch slightly ajar. She never went up there. It was full of dusty boxes. Swallowing hard, she pulled the cord, lowering the ladder. The attic was pitch black, a musty smell wafting down. Knife in hand, she ascended, flashlight from her phone cutting through the gloom. Boxes stacked haphazardly, old furniture shrouded in sheets. Then in the corner, a shape moved. She froze. It was a mattress, rumpled, with a pillow and blanket. Empty food wrappers scattered around. Someone had been living up here. Panic surged. She spun around, but too late. A hand clamped over her mouth from behind. "Shh," a raspy voice whispered. "I've been waiting for you to notice me." The man was gaunt, eyes wild, clothes filthy. He'd been squatting in her attic for weeks, watching her through the vents, learning her routines. Juliet struggled, but he was stronger, dragging her deeper into the shadows. She fought desperately, slashing with the knife, but he disarmed her easily. As he bound her wrists with duct tape from his makeshift camp, he explained in a calm, chilling tone. He'd lost his home months ago, found her house unlocked one night, and decided to stay. "You're so kind, Juliet. You even left food out sometimes." Her screams were muffled by the rag he stuffed in her mouth. Downstairs, her phone buzzed. Jake calling. But she couldn't reach it. The rain intensified, masking any noise. Hours passed in terror as he paced, muttering about making this his permanent home. Juliet's mind raced for escape, but the attic was sealed, no windows. When dawn broke, he finally dozed off. She wriggled free, inch by inch, and lunged for the ladder. But he woke, grabbing her ankle. They tumbled down together, crashing onto the hallway floor. Juliet landed hard, pain shooting through her leg, but she crawled to the knife. He lunged and she stabbed wildly, blood spraying. Gasping, she dialed 911 as he slumped, lifeless. The police arrived to a scene of horror, evidence of his long stay, photos of her sleeping, stolen items. Juliet survived, but the house no longer felt like home. She sold it, moving to a tiny apartment. Yet sometimes, in the quiet nights, she swears she hears footsteps above, remnants of a nightmare that was all too real. Mark was a night owl, a software engineer who thrived in the quiet hours when the world slept. His modern apartment in the high-rise was his sanctuary, equipped with smart locks and cameras. His wife was visiting family out of state, so he was home alone, binge-watching shows while debugging code. The city lights twinkled outside his floor-to-ceiling windows, a comforting glow. At 1 a.m., his phone rang, an unknown number. He ignored it, probably spam. But it rang again, then texted, "Answer me." Curious and annoyed, he picked up. "Hello?" Silence, then heavy breathing. "Who is this?" he demanded. A low chuckle. "I'm watching you, Mark. Nice shirt." He glanced down at his faded band tee, chills racing up his spine. He hung up, checking the doors. Locked. Windows secure. He pulled the blinds, heart racing. The phone buzzed again. "Closing the blinds won't help." "I see everything." Panic set in. Was this a prank? He called the police non-emergency line, but they said without a threat, they couldn't do much. "Change your number if it persists." But it did persist. Calls every few minutes. "I like how you pace when you're scared." "Your coffee's getting cold." He looked at his mug on the counter. Indeed cold. Someone was inside? No, impossible. He searched the apartment. Closets empty, under the bed clear, bathroom vacant. Yet the calls continued. "Check the balcony." Reluctantly, he slid the door open. Nothing but wind. As he stepped back in, his phone rang. "Behind you!" He whirled, empty. But now a new text. A photo of him on the balcony, taken from inside the apartment. His stomach dropped. The intruder was here, hiding, taunting him. Mark grabbed a baseball bat from the closet, sweeping room by room again. In the kitchen, he noticed the vent grill slightly askew. Peering in with a flashlight, he saw eyes staring back. Human eyes. He yelped, dropping the bat. A man burst out, wiry and desperate, wielding a screwdriver. They grappled, Mark's bat connecting with the intruder's arm. The man howled, explaining between blows. He'd been a maintenance worker fired weeks ago, but kept a keycard copy. He'd been living in the vents, spying through the smart home system he'd hacked. "You have everything. I have nothing," he snarled. Mark fought for his life, smashing the phone to stop the recordings. The intruder lunged, stabbing wildly. Mark dodged, shoving him toward the balcony. In the struggle, the man toppled over the railing, plummeting 20 stories down with a sickening thud. Shaking, Mark collapsed, calling 911. Investigators found the vents rigged with cameras. His life streamed to the dark web for voyeurs. The caller wasn't alone. Dozens had been watching, betting on the outcome. Mark moved out, but the paranoia lingered. Every ringtone a reminder that privacy is an illusion in a connected world. Sarah inherited her parents' rural home after their sudden car accident. It was isolated, surrounded by woods, but she needed the change after her divorce. Working remotely as a graphic designer, she enjoyed the peace until tonight. Her dog Max was at the vet overnight, leaving her truly alone. She lit a fire in the living room, sipping tea while sketching. A low rumble echoed from the basement, like something heavy dragging across concrete. She paused, listening. The house was old. Pipes groaned sometimes. But it came again, louder. Uneasy, she grabbed a flashlight and descended the rickety stairs. The basement was cluttered. Boxes of her parents' belongings. Old furniture, a workbench. She swept the beam around. Nothing. Dust motes danced in the light. As she turned to leave, a whisper. Sarah. Her name, faint but clear. She froze. Hello? No response. Heart hammering, she bolted upstairs, locking the door. Back in the living room, she tried to calm down, blaming imagination, but then knocking from below. Persistent, rhythmic. She called her brother, but no signal. Storm must be interfering. Alone with her fears, she armed herself with a poker from the fireplace. The knocking stopped, replaced by scratching, like nails on wood. Petrified, she crept to the door, ear pressed against it. Breathing, labored on the other side. "Who's there?" she shouted. A muffled reply. "Help. Me." Horror mixed with pity. Was someone trapped? She unlocked the door, poker raised, and descended again. The basement air was colder, fetid. In the far corner, behind stacked boxes, she found a makeshift barricade. Pulling it aside revealed a hidden room, her parents' secret. Inside, chained to the wall, was a man, emaciated, wild-eyed. "Thank God," he rasped. "They kept me here for years." Sarah recoiled. He claimed her parents had kidnapped him as a teen, using him for labor, experiments. "They said I was family now." Disbelief warred with evidence, scars, old photos of him as a boy with her parents. But as she fumbled for her phone to call help, he lunged, chains snapping loose. They were rusted through. "You're just like them," he growled, years of rage unleashed. They fought in the dim light, Sarah swinging the poker. He was weak but feral, clawing at her. She connected with his head, stunning him, and fled upstairs, barricading the door. Panting, she finally got signal and called the police. They arrived to find the man dead from the blow. Self-defense, they ruled. But records showed he was a missing person from 20 years ago, abducted by her parents in a twisted bid for a son. Sarah burned the house down, but the echoes of his pleas haunted her nights. A realistic nightmare of family secrets buried deep. Alex lived in a quiet suburb, his split-level home backing onto a park. A teacher on summer break, he was home alone while his kids visited their mom post-divorce. He spent evenings grilling and reading on the patio, enjoying the solitude. Tonight, fireflies danced as he sipped beer, unwinding. A rustle in the bushes caught his eye, probably a raccoon. But then a figure darted across the yard, human silhouette. He stood calling out. No answer. Shrugging it off as a jogger, he went inside, locking up. Later, watching TV, he heard tapping on the window. Peering out, nothing. Uneasy, he checked the security app. Cameras showed clear. But as he settled back, his doorbell cam pinged. Motion detected. The feed revealed a man standing at the door, face obscured by a hood, staring directly at the lens. Alex's pulse raced. He didn't answer. The man knocked, then tried the handle. Locked, thankfully. "I know you're in there, Alex," a voice called. How did he know his name? Alex grabbed his phone, dialing 911, but the line was busy. Odd. The man circled the house, testing windows. Alex followed on cameras, horrified. One feed glitched. The backyard cam showed the man climbing the fence from the neighbor's yard. Mr. Jenkins? No, Jenkins was elderly. Power flickered, lights dimming. Backup generator? Number in darkness. Alex hid in the closet, shotgun from his safe loaded. Footsteps outside, then inside. A window shattered downstairs. The intruder moved methodically, drawers opening. "Where is it, Alex?" "The money you owe?" Confusion hit. Alex owed nothing. "Wrong house?" But the man ascended stairs, whispering threats. Alex burst out, shotgun raised. "Get out!" The man turned, familiar face. His ex-wife's brother, disheveled, eyes manic. "She said you hid the settlement cash here." Delusional from drugs, he'd been stalking, convinced of a conspiracy. They struggled, shotgun discharging into the ceiling. The brother tackled him, knife flashing. Alex fought back, years of Jim paying off, disarming him. Pinned, the brother ranted about betrayal. Police sirens wailed. Alex had texted a friend earlier. The brother was arrested, revealing he'd burrowed under the fence, living in a tent in the park, watching Alex for weeks. Restraining orders followed, but Alex installed bars, forever vigilant. Neighbors aren't always who they seem. Lisa, a nurse on night shifts, cherished her days off in her cozy bungalow. Her husband was deployed overseas, so she was home alone, catching up on sleep. Waking mid-afternoon, she felt dizzy, head pounding, probably dehydration. She drank water, but the fog persisted. As evening fell, shadows seemed to move, peripheral glimpses of figures. Just tired, she told herself. But then whispers, indistinct voices from the vents. Paranoia crept in. She checked the house, empty. Outside, normal. Dizziness worsened. She smelled something faint. Rotten eggs? Gas leak? She called the utility company, but they said no reports. "Open windows," they advised. She did, but the whispers grew. Her name, accusations. Hallucinating? Carbon monoxide? No detector alarmed. Panic built as walls seemed to close in. She fled to the car, but it wouldn't start. Battery dead? Trapped. Back inside, a shape in the mirror, not her reflection. She screamed, smashing it. Blood from cuts, but the voices laughed. Collapsing, she crawled to the phone. 911. Paramedics found her unconscious. Tests revealed a slow gas leak from a faulty stove. Odorless carbon monoxide poisoning. Hallucinations were real symptoms. Auditory, visual. She'd been poisoning herself for days, alone, mind unraveling. Hospitalized, she recovered, but the terror lingered. A realistic horror of invisible threats in one's own home, where solitude turns deadly